That's okay. So let us begin with the prayer. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Friends, hearty welcome to you all and a very good evening. And as you have heard, I will be I shall be discussing the topic, is only Jnanam without yoga helpful? Now let me first define these two words. I would be looking at the dimension of these two words so far as they have been dealt with by the philosophies, Vedic philosophies, Vedantic philosophies, the yogas, and some other systems. As you know, there are 6 systems of Indian philosophy. So I'm looking at these two words from the standpoint of those different philosophies. The word Jnanam you are very much familiar with, but in most of the cases we use the word Jnanam as an equivalent or synonym for knowledge. That is what we know, that is knowledge, the path of knowledge. That does not give the proper meaning of this word Jnanam. If the non-dual Vedanta, the path of knowledge, says that existence is the proof of Brahman, existence, Sat Chidananda. Sat is the proof of Brahman. As it is said in the Upanishad, Sat eva saumya idam agre asit. Sat eva, only existence was there, agre, before this creation. So Sat eva. So if someone says that I exist, how much do we believe that? Even I know that I exist, even if 7 billion people on the face of the earth say that we don't know someone who the Swami Baneshananda is. That does not disprove my existence. I exist on my own rights. And that is what is Vedanta. So, but how many of us really know that we exist? Because the problem is, we know we exist, we can assert that we exist, because the person who asserts should exist. That is the logic. But the problem is, we believe in the death. And our death, we die. After that, we think that we don't exist. So this existence, jnana, means an awareness. Not knowing that I exist, but being aware that I am. That is why they say not that I am Brahman, but I am. I am there. So this is always in the present tense. So, but here I would use the word Jnanam in the sense of a theoretical knowledge, or in the sense, like I have said, that I know that I exist, but I am not aware of that. Knowing is always a problematic word because knowing means it creates a duality. Someone knows and someone knows something. But awareness is that I am aware. I am aware that I exist. There is no question of knowing something. But the idea that I said, that I believe in my death, I won't exist, that is the problem. So I believe in my existence, that is to the point of an intellectual conviction. Intellectual conviction. So this knowledge is an intellectual knowledge. So Jnanam and yoga. When you add yoga, then it does not become intellectual. So Jnanam, intellectual knowledge, but how beneficial this intellectual knowledge is, how much value it has. The scriptures themselves have discussed this point. They say that it is called paroksha jnanam. Paroksha jnanam means knowing about something or someone in that person's absence. So paroksha jnanam means indirect knowledge. I know someone exists, but that person is not here. So therefore, that is called a theoretical knowledge. And how valuable that knowledge is, the scriptures they have discussed this point, whether there is any value in this intellectual understanding that we are Brahman. They said that it has got at least 50% value. At least 50% value, they say. The thing is that we will discuss this afterwards, why it has got some 50% value. But so far we are dealing with this whole topic. So here I will stop about this knowledge, that it is an intellectual understanding and conviction also. That much. Then we use the word yoga. As I said yesterday, that yoga is a combination of two ways. One is karma, another is bhakti. As I said, leave everything on God. That means do your duty and leave the result on God. Now you see there is karma and there is bhakti. And they blend together, that is called karma yoga. This Swami Vivekananda has been the propagator of this karma yoga or nishkama karma or seva yoga, whatever you may call it. He was a great admirer of that, and Sri Ramakrishna himself also taught about this. The Sri Krishna is saying that everyone has to do work. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtatya karmakrit. One cannot stay without doing any work, even for a moment. Kshanamapi, even for a moment. You have to do something. What are you doing now? I am keeping quiet. And keeping quiet means, are you thinking something? Yeah, I am thinking. So many thoughts are passing by. And I am not registering anything. So you are thinking. Cogitative mind. Thinking also is a kind of karma, it is mental karma. It is a work. So therefore, this karma we do, it is nothing special for us that a big teacher has to come and teach us how to do karma. Actually speaking, the benefactors of humanity, those great teachers, spiritual teachers, they never said that you want to do work. And they never said that this work has no meaning. But what they said, that when you are doing work, what way you are doing the work, what way it is helping you. You see, if you are able to do much work and very efficient person, then all the inner dirt, they will take bigger form. Like our pride will grow, that I am a big worker. Our ego will grow. Our jealousy will grow. When you are working with others, then you will start feeling jealous about someone praises somebody, then you feel jealous. I teach the people who live in a group, particularly in our group, in our center, I tell them always, we should know what to discuss at the table and what not to discuss. That is more important. What to say at the table, what not to say. What not to say is more important. Why, we are so many people sitting. It is very easy to start a conversation criticizing or demonizing someone. Everyone will join. But if you say something good about somebody else, then all others will feel jealous. You are breeding jealousy because you praised someone. It is such an unfortunate thing that you can't praise anyone. Praising is a big problem. That actually creates a lot of jealousy and big discord. So therefore, doing karma is not that easy. And those who are doing only karma, they are mostly people who live in the household, in this worldly life. And then if you grow your ego, your jealousy, your pride, a peaceful life at home is also very difficult. Because you are the same person. When you are going at home, inside home and outside, you carry that same kind of pride, jealousy, ego, all sorts of problems. Therefore, the scriptures, they talk extensively about karma. Even most part of the Vedas is concerned with the paraphernalia of how to do work, different types of works. So we have to, therefore the scriptures have divided karma in different categories. One category is that the right type of karma, what you should do and what you are required to do. What you should do means that is part and parcel of your life. You cannot avoid those works. Like sleeping, eating, etc., you cannot avoid. And what you are required to do means what is your contribution to a group living, to a society, like that. So right type of action, which are not prohibited, you have to choose that type of action. But that action, fine, but that will increase your ego, jealousy, and power hankering, all these things. So you have to find a right attitude. Right work with right attitude. It is not that we will do work with a lot of dedication, etc., but that attitude, that is how we connect the result with God. That could be the most benevolent attitude, that I am doing for the sake of God, to please God. But Swami Vivekananda said that it is part of our spiritual sadhana or austerities. Then what happens? By doing this, I can get liberation. And Sri Krishna very clearly says, Karmanaiva hi samsiddhim asthita janakadayaha. Even Janaka and others, they were great administrators. They ran their kingdom. They were kings. But they attained liberation through their karma, their work. Because what was the duty of the king? They understood that, and then they fulfilled that duty, following the path of spirituality or following the path of universal good. So, karma, when it is connected with right attitude, then that becomes karma yoga. When it is connected with God, then you will see that it becomes karma yoga automatically, as we have seen. So, Jnanam and yoga. The first is Jnanam. This is a big topic, and as I said, we have a lot of YouTube material, but we will go into through a different way. And karma and bhakti, they are connected together. That is called yoga. Actually speaking, yoga is a preparation for receiving the instructions of Jnanam. Yoga is a preparation for receiving instructions for Jnanam. That is why they add yoga to karma, to bhakti, to karma, to Jnanam, all the karma yoga, Jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, yoga, everywhere yoga. So, but not in the sense of today's yogas. Everywhere you have got different names, yoga, Agni yoga, then like the Vari yoga, all will start. So, then this is the initial introduction about these two words. What way Jnanam help us to achieve our ultimate goal, what is called moksha? How it helps? Now let me give you a few ideas which you have already heard many times here, but still to remind us, the way is to know that we are not perishable. That means we are not matter. We are not part and parcel of matter. We do have many material things on our body, but that is part and parcel of this creation, which is relative, time-bound. Within this time it exists, and after that it does not exist. So we have a relative existence, and behind that we have some existence. And now let us go through the Drigdrishya Viveka way, but in a different style. This has been explained by Yoga Sutras, by Vedanta, by Swami Vivekananda, that we have to always remember to count 7. You will see that the Yoga Sutra talks about samadhi and 7 levels of samadhi. Vedanta talks about 7 levels of samadhi. Yoga Sutra, you know that Savitarka, Nirvitarka, Savichara, Nirvichara, like that samadhi has been divided from lowest to the highest. So here also we will see how we try to find our self, which is not part and parcel of this material universe. So the whole system is going through the material universe, and that is why it is said that the system of meditation, all through the system of meditation, is mechanical system. There is nothing mystical about it. When you start sitting, keep the eyes closed, all these things are mechanical process. These are systems of meditation. So don't worry if you do not have extraterrestrial experience on the first day or 10th day. Don't worry, because these are mechanical process. But after some time, when you look back, then you see who you were and what you have become. How much improvement it has done. As yesterday I gave the example of the CEO, he practiced, whatever happens, I should not get angry. How much effect it has brought about in his internal self. So we want to experience that. But when you look back, then you will see that it has already done a lot of good. I am tempted to quote from the Bhagavad Gita, the process of meditation, since that may not be the core subject of this talk, but it is worth understanding to understand the differences between meditation on the material object and meditation on non-material object. Sri Krishna very nicely delineates this whole process there. He says in the 2nd chapter, Sri Krishna says, Dhyayato Vishayan Pungsa Sangasteshu Upajayate. When someone is meditating on any kind of material object, Vishayan, material thought, material benefit, material enjoyment, material thing, when we are meditating on that, what happens? Sangasteshu Upajayate. We get attached to that thing. Mentally, sometimes physically, we get attached to that thing. And then when we get attached to that thing, get interested in that thing, then what happens? sangat sanjayate kama. Then it creates a desire. Desire means what? To get more and more and more of it. Kama. And that kama, that desire, if it is obstructed or not fulfilled, kamat krodho bhijayate. From that anger is generated. See the process, as I said, that in the world when we do work, it does not help us to reduce our inner difficulties or enemies or impurities. So here also, krodhat bhavati sammoha. When you get angry, what happens? You are deluded. Deluded means you are getting angry for no reason. There is no proper reason why should you get angry. So, krodhat bhavati sammoha. Sammoha means you get deluded. And the most important part here in psychology, sammohat smriti vibhrama. When you get deluded, then all your memory about the teachings of the scriptures, the tradition, all these things are lost. They don't come to your help. Smriti vibhrama, you get confused and your memory fails. Smriti bhrangshat buddhinasho. And when you get confused about what is right and what is wrong because of your own delusion and anger, then what happens? Buddhinasho. Your intellect fails. Buddhinasho. And buddhinashat pranasyati. And when your intellect fails, the person meets with destruction. Now see, this is what Sri Krishna is saying. But it has a different connotation. That is very important. Just turn when the Vishaya is the object of our meditation, then Pranasyati Nasha is the result. So when I meet with the destruction, all my effort fails, then I will know I was meditating on a material object which is changeful. Proof enough on what I am meditating. Now, if we just give a twist, that's what Swami Baneshananda Maharaj gave a hint like that, then I paraphrased the whole hint according to these two verses in the Gita. Suppose we change one word, Vishaya, then what will happen? This is a wonderful study in psychology. You will see that what happens inside. Nobody has ever, before Sri Krishna, delineated this whole process inside the mind, how it works. And here, wonderfully, you will see that hint will lead us to a wonderful discovery here. It says that dhyayataha ishwaram pungsa. Instead of Vishaya, you put Ishvara there. This one word change. Dhyayata ishwaram pungsa sangas tasmin upajayate. When you are meditating on God, you will get attached to God. And that God's attachment to God will not create desire or lust or anything, not kama. Sangat, in this sangha, attachment to God will produce sangat sanjayate prema. Prema means love for all, love for God, love for all. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Dev has said that Atmendriya pritiricha tare boli kam, Krishnendriya pritiricha dhare premana. There is a difference between kama and prema. Kama is selfish desire, prema is universal desire to do good to all. So that is the universal connotation. Now prema. Premnaha karuna upajayate. Now krodha, there we found that premna, karuna, moha. Instead of that you get karuna. Karuna means compassion for all. Compassion for yourself also. That I am not getting self-awareness. That compassion, I have to. Others are being deluded. Others are suffering. All this compassion will come. Karuna upajayate. Karunaya bhavati nirmoha. When you see yourself in others, feel the suffering of others, think of God. So nirmoha, this delusion is gone, destroyed. Nirmohat Smritir agama. When your mind is not cluttered or clouded, your memory will be very prominent, and that will help. What you have learned from the scriptures, from the tradition, from the elders, all these things will come to your help. And smriti vridhya buddhi suddhi. When your smriti is there, your intellect will function properly, it will get purified. Purification of the intellect, that is the idea of the Jnana Yoga. So intellect is purified, buddhi shuddhi. Dhi shuddho suddhya savimuchyate. And when your pure intellect is there, then you are liberated. So when liberation will be the result, then it is proof enough on what we were meditating. We are meditating on God. Therefore, this is the process that when we are going through the inner self of ours, then things happen there this way. And when one of our friends in Germany, she's a psychologist, she heard this explanation, she was very stunned. She said, how much similarity is there in our training and what it is said here. And many more ideas are involved here. So there is a book, The Ego and the Real Self, by Swami Baneshananda ji. That book sells like hotcake there. And also the cosmic dimension of meditation, that also sells like that. Because the people they are trained in psychology and mental science, they find, two of our psychiatrist friends told me, after reading these two books, they have found that it is much easier to counsel the patients. It became much easier because there's so much clarity in this, and the process has been told step by step what happens. And you try to practice that, you will see that things are happening that way. It should happen that way. So therefore, this internal process of our Jnanam is that something is there outside as an object, as you have read in the Drigdrishya Viveka. That is number one. I said we have to count number 7. Second thing is the instruments that we use to see that object or hear that object, to grasp that object. So that second, that is the sense instruments. And behind that, as Swamiji said, that sense organs, the optical nerve point or any nerve point, sense organs. If we are hearing something, then that is Shruti organ. So not through the ear, but to the organ of hearing. So because the organ of hearing is not coordinated with the organ of eyes, so what you hear, your eyes may not see. Your eyes may not hear, and your ears may not see. So there is no coordination between them. So up to the organ, sense organ, the third one, there is no coordination between them. So we have to coordinate them, and then that is the work of the mind. And this mind has got two parts, so it is fourth one, mind. And then the mind gathers some information and gives that information to the intellect. Now intellect has two parts to play, subuddhi and durbuddhi. Good intellect and bad intellect. Bad intellect will say, do this bad thing, good intellect will say good thing. So the work of the mind is to present the data to the intellect. So that is the number 5th. So first one is the object, second was the instrument, third is the sense organ, fourth is the mind, and fifth is the intellect. Now sixth, what is sixth? Now Swami Vivekananda says something. I will give you an example. Suppose someone is standing there and friends are talking, and one jogger is going, and he is a wrestler. He is going. And when he is going, then running, and suddenly he gives a blow. I look at the jogger, and then I also know, oh, Bapre, but this is a wrestler. So I just don't mind. I don't say anything. I say, okay, thank you. Though I have got a hit, but I can say thank you because I know I can't react. I should not react. But if that person should be just a jogger and less strong than I am, Then I can give two blows and two kicks also. Because I know I can do that. See the reaction. For the same type of input or data, somewhere the reaction happens in a different way. Mind has no play in this. It just puts the data in front of the intellect. Now the intellect makes a very quick scan in its storehouse. And there then it finds that, okay, this fellow took advantage of me, and this fellow is weak, I can react this way. But this fellow is strong, I can react this way. Mother is sitting, the child comes and kicks the mother. Mother does not kick back the child because mother knows that that is the child. Intellect says that this is your child. So the intellect decides on what would be the reaction. You know, Vedanta says actions do not prove who we are. Actions mean we know how to behave in front of the public, how to be nice to people, hello, hi, all this we have learned. But when someone irritates me, someone ridicules me, then you will see that my face changes. Then the real reaction comes out. That is too crude. I can't hide that. In spite of all my training, I can't hide that. So reactions brings out the reality inside. Therefore, here you see this intellect decides. And intellect also does not decide by itself. It does a quick scan, and now Swami Vivekananda says that the intellect processes this data. In the Yoga Sutra, Swami Vivekananda says, and in that processing, in course of that processing, he uses a wonderful sentence here. There flashes the idea of ego. Up till now, no one could explain what ego is, but Swami Vivekananda put the location and also the way the ego reacts. The ego manifests itself. In that process, there flashes the idea of ego. Ego is the sixth. And that ego decides what way we have to react. That ego decides. Now, if the ego thinks that it is very angry with this person for no reason, maybe that because of this person he is not or she is not able to fulfill his or her desired things. It may be a very bad thing, but because of this person I am not able to do. So that I demonize that person. So the ego, the decision of the ego may be not actually equitable, not equitable. So in a very different way the ego reacts. So therefore, this is the system how the knowledge works and the inputs they are manifesting outside. So the Jnanam is there to understand this work as a mechanical process and then find out that ego, which is the culprit, which uses this process. And in the name of what? In the name of the self. On my behalf, the ego reacts. Maybe in my heart of hearts, I would not have liked that. But I have to do it because my ego forces. And you see all the nerves and the whole body becomes so hot, warm, that way. So, the process of Jnanam is that to teach this system and to tell that the culprit is not the intellect, not the mind. We always blame the mind. Mano eva manushyanam karanam bandha moksha. Mind is the cause of our bondage, the cause of our moksha. No, it is not like that. This is whole thing, just mind means there the ego is mentioned. I will give you an example that it is discussed in the scriptures. Suppose a sentence is there. I know that I know you. I know you, that is my knowledge. Is it my knowledge or not? Yes. So I know that I know you. Now after this that is a sentence. Before that the principal clause is I know. But the subordinate clause that I know you, there is also I know. Before that, there is I and there is no. After that, there is I, there is no. I know that I know you. See the similarity between the two I's. So we mistake this I, means in the subordinate clause, as the main I. Now this I, look at this I, that I know you, that I do not know you. That is also possible. I know that I know you, I know that I do not know you. Both positive and negative possible. That side. But this side, if you say I do not know, it ends here. It ends, you do not know means no further explanation necessary. Therefore, this side you cannot eliminate, but this side you can work with. And this is the ego I, this, it is appearing as the I. So, Swami Vivekananda has given a talk on this, the real I and the apparent I. It looks like me, it looks like the real no, but not. That, after this whatever happens, that is the workings of our ego. And Jnana has to work on this ego with the help of the intellect. That is why purify the intellect, then your ego is purified. And purify the ego, and ego means there the cluttering, the junction and joining of real I and the apparent I. So that portion, this Jnanam will eliminate. Now that is the contribution. And we know that this famous saying that Tat Tvamasi, you are that. In general parlance, when our teachers teach us, they have a sentence that is nice. It says that Soyam Devadattaha. This person is that Devadatta. Now see, this person is that Devadatta. But this Devadatta, what I am seeing here, is that Devadatta whom we saw yesterday in a different place. Now see, the time and place both changed here. Now at this moment, in this location, this Devadatta is that Devadatta. Then are they one or two? They are one and the same person. This is the way of talking in our scriptures. Tat Tvam Asi, you are that. You are, that is proof enough. That means what you thought you are, that is not you. You are actually this. You are that. So I am Devadatta, that Devadatta. So this way we understand our existence in the presence, present tense, in the presence. So in the presence means what? When we are meditating, you see, the mind is constantly fluctuating. There is a frequency. It is going up and down, up and down. And the meditation process is to increase the wavelength. If you understand that, you just go down and don't get up. Try to remain there. You go down, try to remain there as long as you can, and it goes up. Vichidya, vichidya. The Upanishad say, the scriptures say that Jnanam means not uninterrupted meditation. It is interrupted meditation. It is called Jnanam. So instead of going like this, it is going down and continuing, and then climbing up, again going down, continuing. This is the process we try to do that. Now when you have gone down a long stretch of a straight line, that is where are you? You are together with yourself. You are in your presence. You are in the presence of yourself means you are in your presence. That is eternal present tense. There is no past tense, there is no future tense. You are constantly in the presence of yourself, that is in present tense. So, this instance, the Tat Tvam Asi, that proves that we have to be connected with our own self, and that is always in the present. There is no special location and there is no different time. So this is one way to teach what Jnanam is, and that brings about our liberation, means full awareness that I am not the things. Actually, the non-dual Vedanta means what? Non-dual means Advaita, non-dual. It does not say that all are Brahman. It says that there is nothing but Brahman. Nothing, not, non-dual. No two. There is nothing but Brahman, that is called non-dual. Not that everything is Brahman. The problem is, very technically speaking, many times you will see even big teachers also mix up these two words. That, what is that, non-dual or oneness. Oneness and non-duality. Now, problem is oneness is also true, but thing is that, let me give you an example. Suppose there is an apple, and if we ask you how many apples do you have? One apple. Are there no two? No two, only one. No two, non-dual. But you cut that apple into 10 pieces. Now, these are 10 pieces, you can count it. But these are 10 pieces of the one and the same apple. Here, monism. This idea is about monism, because all has become broken, but still you can say that this is all pieces of the same apple. It is called monism or unity. But before that, what it was? Non-dual. So Vedanta, non-dual, Advaita Vedanta does not teach that all is or are Brahman, but it teaches that there is nothing but Brahman. So this is the idea it tries to convey through this small sentence they call Mahavakyas. It has got big meaning in it, but the sentence is very small. Then Shankaracharya says that one has to realize Atman with the help of Jnanam. That is a knowledge. We should know that we are Brahman. That is the idea of awareness I am talking about. Shankaracharya says that knowledge has to be used to realize Brahman, our own self. There is no other. Therefore, Sri Krishna also says, Tasmat Jnanena Sadrisham. Therefore, like Jnana, there is nothing which is more beneficial, like Jnana. Because Jnanam is the only way to realize that we are Brahman. Now, problem is, the foundational scripture of Jnanam, Jnana Yoga, is known as Brahma Sutras. Brahma Sutras, and the first aphorism in the Brahma Sutra is Athato Brahma Jijnasa. There are two words in the beginning. Atha means we are beginning with some things like we say Om, we say Atha. There are two words, In the scripture it is said when creation has started, the creation started with two words. Om, Om, Atha. Omkarascha sabdascha dvau eto brahmana pura kanthang bhitva vinigratyo tasmat mangalikyo ubhav. So Atha Sabda is Mangalika, for auspiciousness. We are starting with an auspicious study, therefore we say Atha. Atha, hereafter, after that. Atha means after that. After what? Brahma Jijnasa will be done after this. This is very fixed there. You cannot change this word. Atha Brahma Jijnasa. Atha means after this. You can question about Brahman. Jnana Yoga starts after this. It does not say that there is nothing before Jnana. Yes, when you are going to get admission in the university, they will ask for all your certificates. Well, what have you passed up till now? And then you produce all the 2 kilograms of, not 2 kilograms of certificate nowadays you produce there. And then Atha means after this, you will be admitted into the university. Not before that. So what is that big stretch of Atha? That is the question. That is what is known as yoga, preparatory steps, and that belongs to yoga. And Brahma Jigyasa will be efficiently managed by those who are Nivritta Pratibandhaka Adhikari, whose intellect has become so pure that there is no obstruction to understand this. You see, there they give the example of this 10 people crossing the river, a torrential river flowing, 10 people crossed there, and after reaching that side, they started counting if we all have been able to cross it. And then they found that there were 9, they started crying. Then one person was passing by, asked, "What happened? Why are you crying?" Now one of us is missing and got blown away by the river. And then they said, then he looked at them and counted. Then said, "How did you count?" "No, I counted like that. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then this person caught hold of his hand and said, "10. You are the 10th. So you are counting without yourself." So that is what we are doing, counting all excepting us. Somebody asked, "What is your opinion about this population explosion in this world? What is your opinion in Hollywood?" Some years ago. Then I said, "I don't have any opinion because I am part of that population explosion. So what opinion should I have? I have to remove myself to reduce it." So this is the problem. Always we think that we are standing aside and judging others. That is a bad idea. So here the thing here it is said, Shankaracharya says that Jnana Deva Moksha. Upanishad also says, Shankara says, everyone says. But Jnana, but to be competent, to understand, both physically, intellectually, your grey matter has to grow that a child cannot understand. Because the grey matter has not grown that size. It cannot appreciate these ideas. So therefore, there is a big preparatory step. And that step is karma, bhakti, dhyanam, all these. All these form that part. But then, should we not talk about jnanam as just jnanam without practices? Yes. I am skipping this part because this is a big one. What is karma, then why it is called yoga? Because it has its purpose connected with the ultimate purpose, moksha. But I am going to the other side that is it not necessary that we will know what we are going to achieve? Should we not have a clear idea about the goal or about the object we are going to achieve? Then the scripture says yes. That is why we said that it has got at least 50% validity or value. So it is necessary. That is why you will see when the Yoga Sutra, most practical psychology and also spirituality together. Swami Vivekananda says the Yoga Sutra is the science of religion, actually technology of religion. Not only science but technology. The first chapter of the Yoga Sutra is called Samadhi Pada. Now it talks about Samadhi, the person who does not understand how to sit on the floor. How will that fellow understand what is Samadhi? Now talking something so high. No. In the beginning, it wants to talk about the Samadhi so that you are able to appreciate it, and that would be my goal. Then I will work for that. I will give you an example of one of our young novices. He joined the order and he was very brilliant, young. That fellow came to one of our senior Swamis, who was a disciple of Swami Subodhanandaji, Sri Ramakrishna's disciple. So then he came to this Swamiji and said, "Swamiji, I have some questions." Questions on what? On Samadhi. See, just he has entered the monastery, he is talking about Samadhi. Sri Ramakrishna in the Gospel said that the other day someone came and wanted to know about Samadhi. So means just to ask some question, ask it due to idle curiosity or to show off that I am asking question. So Then this Swamiji said, Samadhi? My goodness. Okay. So what is your question? No, I will talk with you about Samadhi, because he has started reading the Samadhi Pada of Raja Yoga. Then the Swamiji said, well, first let me check with you. How long do you meditate daily? Daily morning 25 minutes, afternoon 25 minutes, evening. I said, oh, 25 minutes you meditate? Yes, 25 minutes I meditate. Okay then. If you fulfill my conditions, then after 3 weeks or 4 weeks something, he said, I will answer your questions. He said, fine, okay, tell me what to do. From today itself, you start sitting for 1 hour. Morning 1 hour, evening 1 hour. And after 3 weeks, we will meet here and we will talk about Samadhi. He said, okay, fine. And he went there and then, okay, he started meditating and he is a very, very energetic person. Then after 4 or 5 days, he came back to the Swamiji, Maharaj, I have something to talk with you. No, I will not talk with you. 3 weeks have to go, then I will talk. He said, no, Maharaj, I need your help now. No, I told you, you fulfill my conditions first. Then only I will talk with you. Then he said, Maharaj, I am not asking anything about Samadhi. I will be asking you something that I am sitting there on the floor. After half an hour, my thighs become numb. What to do? Oh, your thighs become numb? Yes, Maharaj. It did not happen before? No. Okay, you can just change your posture, this leg, this side, that leg, that side. That I did, it did not help. Okay, you get up and walk. Can I walk like that? Yeah, walk 2 minutes and sit down again. Purpose is to sit, practice breaking the body. Okay. And I am feeling some burning sensation here on my shoulders. Then the Swami said, what did you say? No, I feel some burning sensation. It is natural. If you have never practiced meditation, etc., in a posture, then your body you will complain. And this main complaint is here. You will feel burning. It is burning there. So you use the word burning? Yes. This is what is called burning question. This is what is called burning question. And your question proves at what level of samadhi you are. You don't have to ask about high levels of samadhi. This first you take care of this, then you will know yourself what samadhi is. This is how practical it is. This is the technology of religion. So therefore, this book starts with the Samadhi chapter. What is Samadhi? And then you are in the know of this whole thing, then you will start appreciating all the small things, what you have to do. Sitting on the floor. Because you have to achieve something which is so great. You have to start practicing stretching, sitting, all this jogging, etc. You have to practice. So that is why they say, Shariram Adyam Khalu Dharma Sadhanam. If you want to practice spiritual life, then first take care of your physical body so that it remains flexible and also helpful. When you sit in meditation, then it will remain straight and you will not be transported into the dream world, but you will be meditating there. So these are all things that we need to think of. So this way, the preparation stage is very much necessary, and then you will find the value of the preparation stage when you know what you are going to achieve. You know, from here I have to start. You cannot start at the university, you have to start in the kindergarten. If you go to start at the university, problem will be there. They will be send you back to the kindergarten. That time admission is closed because you are already grown up. So therefore you won't get admission there. So start at the kindergarten, and from there you will slowly see that you can go up to the university, you can follow your own dream education. But therefore, now these two have got also, they are complementary. That is one good idea. In the Gita, you will see Sri Krishna has added yoga to Jnanam, to bhakti, to karma, to dhyanam, to sannyasa, all yoga. Why yoga? Because these things what he is teaching, they are not intellectual. They are practical. They can be practiced, doable. Anyone can do this in one's life. So therefore, it's all yoga. Sri Krishna, only the first person who used the word yoga to all these things. Not only 4 yogas, you see that so many yogas are there. Purushottama yoga, that is also yoga. You know about God but don't connect God to your life, then it is useless. God is useless, you are also useless. So therefore, yoga Sri Krishna gave. And Swami Vivekananda says that there's a combination of yoga is necessary. That is the combination here. Jnana yoga is a total combination of 4 yogas together. Swami Vivekananda says that during one day itself in our life, if you look at yourself, you will see that at different points of time, your mentality is different, your inclination is different. Sometimes you feel like doing something, physical work. You feel like doing physical work. Sometimes you feel like abandoning everything and sitting there meditating on God or thinking on God or thinking on some problems. Then sometimes this is kind of concentration you try to practice. Sometimes you will feel, no, let me read something. You feel like reading nice things, etc. And sometimes you will feel like that, no, let me think what I have done, what is the meaning of this life, and all this. Throughout the day, you yourself, your inside is changing. You are inclined to different yogas. Why not combine them with one goal? That goal is unchanging. And therefore, whatever you do, everything has a meaning. Rabindranath Tagore at one place says, Jadi alas bhare basi pather pare, যদি ধুলায় আসন পাতি সজতরে তবু সকল পথ আছে বাকি যেন সে কথা রয় মনে যেন ভুলে না যাই বেদনা পাই শয়নে স্বপনে. If by chance when I am walking a long distance, I need to take rest, I have every right to sit down on the roadside and take rest. But like when we drive, I have seen many times, I drove several years, about 14 years, 15 years, I drove every month twice or thrice 630 kilometers to Frankfurt, to our Cologne center, and came back. And then I had to go out, sometimes in winter I had to go out twice or thrice to the resting place, fill your petrol, gas, and then drink some coffee, etc., come back. So I have every right to go out, to take a little rest, to go to restroom, to drink coffee. Every right is there. But I should not think that that exit is my destination. I should not get stuck there. This world is there. We have everything to do with the world. But it is, Swamiji says, Ramakrishna said very clearly, and Holy Mother also said, it is not bad to be in the world, but it is bad to be of the world. So when you are taking an exit, you enjoy everything, fine, take a little breather, fine. But don't forget that this is not Frankfurt. That will keep on haunting you always. Then you will reach Frankfurt. It is exactly like that. All these things we have been practicing as preparatory steps, all the other yogas, they are complementary because we are following Jnana Yoga. That is why Sri Krishna says that there is nothing more beneficial than Jnana Yoga. So this is all for now because it's a big topic. But thank you very much. I will stop here. If you have any questions, so I'll be happy to, or if you want to contribute something, you are welcome. It was so clear that there is no question further. If you have any simple question, you can ask. Otherwise, difficult questions, just keep it aside for Swami Sarvapriyananda. Jnanam is there. But I could not hear. Oh, that is what that is a big problem. Yeah, but is it a burning question? You see, to understand the Yoga Sutras, one needs to know the differences between the 6 systems of Indian philosophy. And this Yoga Sutra has got at least 4 chapters, okay, 3 chapters very important, but main 2 chapters are important. As it is explained there, that way I can explain, but if you know the 6 systems of Indian philosophy and also know other systems, comparative religion, you know that this word samadhi has got different meaning according to different philosophies. Therefore, but if you have decided to follow one path, suppose bhakti yoga, there is also a samadhi. Holy Mother has said that if you do practice japa, that will lead you to samadhi. So there bhakti yoga, that also can take you to samadhi. But the samadhi idea according to the Jnana yoga is that knowing yourself without any doubt. That when you know yourself as the self and non-dual, then there will be no doubt about it. People may not confuse you by putting contradictory questions. So Shankaracharya has said that if someone has touched fire and has experienced that it is hot, no amount of philosophy or logic will be able to prove to that person that fire is cold. Not possible at all. That is what is called conviction. Knowing it as it is, without any doubt. That is the idea. According to non-dual Vedanta. Yes. But Samadhi in the Yoga Sutra is different. I don't want to explain everything, then that will confuse us. Thank you.
Tomorrow we will start at 11. Tomorrow there are 2